You know that postcard view of Florence, right? The one from that amazing hilltop terrace? Well, what if I told you that the iconic monument right in the middle of it all was actually a famous mistake? Okay, let's dive into the secret story of Piazzale, Michelangelo. All right, so here's our plan. First, we're going to soak in that world-famous view. Then, we'll hit rewind and uncover the controversy behind that centerpiece statue. After that, we'll see how a massive city redesign created a brand new stage for it. And finally, we'll uncover a few secrets hidden right there on the hilltop. Okay, so first things first. Let's really set the scene with what is, without a doubt, one of the most celebrated and photographed cityscapes in the entire world. You know, there's this great local saying that just nails the feeling of being up there. It basically means Florence is tiny, and seen from the square, she looks like a little girl all dressed up for carnival. It's just perfect. It's like the whole city becomes a beautiful little jewel box from that vantage point. I mean, you can see everything from up there. The iconic dome of the Duomo, the Ponte Vecchio stretching across the river, and right in the middle, standing guard over it all, is this huge bronze statue, a copy of Michelangelo's David. It just feels so permanent, like it was always meant to be right there. But here is where the story gets really interesting. That statue's placement, it wasn't the master plan. Not even close. It was actually a plan B, born out of public anger, some serious technical headaches, and a pretty fascinating story of rejection. So to get to the bottom of this, we have to go back in time. And our story doesn't start on this beautiful hill. No, it starts down in the heart of the city with a replica that, well, nobody really wanted. And yeah, this thing was anything but quick. We're talking 2 full decades to get from the initial idea of making a cast of the real David to finally having this bronze version. And the whole process was just filled with challenges. And to give you an idea of how mind-bogglingly complex this was, get this. The mold wasn't one solid piece. It was a giant puzzle made of 1,500 individual plaster sections. The guy making it, Clemente Papi, had to perfectly calculate how every single piece would shrink as it dried, so it wouldn't crack the priceless original marble statue. No pressure, right? So after all that painstaking work, all that risk, what happens? The city puts the new bronze copy where the original marble one used to be, and the Florentines hated it. They absolutely loved the beautiful glowing white marble, this dark, heavy bronze thing. They called it a punch in the eye.
Ouch.
Okay, so now the city has this huge problem. They've got this massive, super expensive, and now very publicly rejected bronze statue. What do you do with it? Well, luckily for them, a brand new, grand project was already underway just across the river. And the solution was just perfect. This architect, Giuseppe Poggi, was already designing this magnificent new terrace with this incredible view as part of a huge city modernization. I mean, what better place for a giant monumental statue? The rejected copy was about to get a serious upgrade. And just getting the statue up there was an event in itself. This wasn't like calling a couple of movers. According to the stories from back then, it took 9 pairs of oxen to drag the massive thing all the way up the winding new road to the top of the hill. Can you imagine seeing that? And so, on that day in 1873, it was finally official. The statue that nobody wanted was unveiled in its new, spectacular home. The mistake had been fixed, and in the process, a brand new Florentine icon was born. But this whole saga, the new terrace, the statue's epic journey, it wasn't happening in a vacuum. It was all part of this massive citywide transformation that was going on in Florence at the time. This period was called the Risanamento, which basically means the renewal or making healthy again. For a little while, Florence was actually the capital of the newly unified Italy, and the city was getting a huge makeover to look like the grand, modern European capital it now was. And the guy in charge of this whole makeover was that architect, Giuseppe Poggi. His vision was huge. He tore down old medieval walls and replaced them with these wide, grand boulevards. He built a new 5-mile-long scenic road that wound its way up into the hills. And Piazzale Michelangelo, that was designed to be the grand finale of the entire journey, a terrace literally built to show off the beauty of the city. Okay, so we've got the crazy backstory of the Piazzale and its statue. But there's one more little secret hiding up on that hilltop, tucked away from all the crowds and the selfie sticks. Right next door, practically hidden in plain sight, is this beautiful place called the Giardino dell'Iris, or the Iris Garden. It's this quiet little oasis that was started back in the 1950s for a really specific reason: to hold a big international competition for the world's most beautiful iris flowers. And here's the really cool part, why this matters so much. You know that famous symbol of Florence, the one on all the flags? Most people, even Florentines, think it's a lily, but it's not. It's actually a red iris. So this entire garden is a living tribute to the city's true symbol, hiding right next to one of its most famous landmarks. So you end up with this amazing contrast, literally side by side. On one hand, you have the world-famous, always open, totally packed Piazzale. And right next to it, you have this quiet, peaceful garden that's only open for a few weeks a year, all dedicated to science and the city's real floral symbol. And really, that's what's so cool about the story of Piazzale Michelangelo. A public rejection, a mistake, becomes this beloved, iconic symbol. It's a great reminder that even the places we think we know best can have these incredible, forgotten histories. It really makes you wonder, right? What surprising stories of conflict, ingenuity, and transformation are hiding behind your city's most famous landmarks?